Hello and welcome everyone. A Squared Gamer here, and we are back with another day of Crusader Kings 3. It's going to be a quick stream today. It's pretty much all summer they're going to be quick streams. I don't start streaming until the sun goes down, just to try and avoid the heat. So let's get right into it. Where am I? Okay, so now, first things first. Let's see if I can remember what it was that we did last time. We're obviously running a scheme here. Let's see, there's 2 schemes available, so we're probably gonna run another scheme. My sister-in-law here is a deviant. Can I blackmail her? 100% chance she'll accept. She has 27 gold, so that'll be worth it. Before I unpause and wait for that to happen, is there anything happening at the moment? My military needs to fill up. That's why I'm losing gold. Oh no, it says the army is raised. Am I in battle? Oh yes, I think we are. We're at war for this little place here. And we're currently sieging this place here. It'll take 2 months. Okay. We're trying to get this. I'm remembering where we're at. So we're at war with Com here over this county. We currently hold that county, and so our ticking war score is currently slowly going up. Even if we do nothing, we will win this war eventually. I am running my army around. I'm trying to siege this place to try and get a little closer to 100% on this battle. And I'm also trying to make sure that the small amounts of enemy armies, right here, 200, 760, and 21, are not sieging any place out in my territory. So that is what is currently happening. Let's clear out some of these messages. And is this a strong hook? No. I'm just waiting for him to get to 50, which should happen in 2 months. And then I can demand payment for that hook. And that clears out all the messages. Is my console full? Yes, it is. I remember Hamir is new, and Fong is also new. I'm currently making someone like me. He's my personal doctor. So that is why he is being swayed. And is there anything else? I should hire a bodyguard. Indra Raja here is excellent, even if he will die. So, oh, but he hates me. That's why I didn't hire him. And no one else is excellent. And that's why I didn't hire anyone else. Okay. Meanwhile, my counselor, since we are at war, are they organizing the army? Yes, they are. And then this guy is fabricating a claim on Trandam over here. It'll be done in 3 months. And I think that's it. Oh, one last thing. I should... How does she have 200 gold? But she's not the one in charge. Wait, is she the one in charge? Oh, she is the one in charge. She is his regent, but he just turned 16, so she's probably going to stop being the regent soon. Let's see if I cannot fabricate a hook and take some money from her quickly. So we will go with balanced agents, because our goal will be less to get to 95% and more to make this go faster, the phase length. And so we need an infiltrator. Her religious leader and doctor is willing to be that. 34. Prabhavati is 27. Footpad. She's a 40 here. Prabhavati is a 25. She's a 42 thief. And she's not an outcast. Okay, so if I use her as the infiltrator, Prabhavati will be the infiltrator. And I will use her as the footpad. 81 days per phase. So that'll make it 41 days per phase. And since I already have 4 advantages, that'll mean 1 more month. Or, let's see. Siama Devi would be the top outcast. And that gets me to 58, which means I would need 37 to get to, from the thief, to get to 95%, which is the cap on success chance. And so doesn't look like anyone is available. My lover is the best at 26. That will get me up to 84% if I did the math correctly. 84%, and we can get this done in a month and a half. Or 95%, and we get it done in 2 months. Yeah, I think it's worth it to use her as the thief. So her religious leader and personal doctor, she'll be my thief. And that should get me to 100, but again, it's capped at 95. And now the footpad will be one of her vassals, I believe. Well, she's not actually the leader, she's a regent. But yeah, one of the vassals of Kam will be the footpad. And now 56 days per phase, instead of 41 if I had used her here. Yeah, so it's better to use her as the thief. This lady's religious leader is involved in this scheme, which is at 95% and already has 5 advantages. So I think I can execute it now, but you should not trust your religious leaders is the lesson I'm learning here. This guy does not like me, so I should watch. Oh, he's 70. That's why I haven't done anything, because he's about to die. His health is poor and he's infirmed. So I don't have to worry about him for too much longer. Meanwhile, this scheme can be executed as we speak, so let's do just that. Seize the moment. Barbaric but effective, so I just threatened her. We've seen this many times before. I do gain 41 dread, but my dread is already at 100. It's already maxed out, so that does not matter. And now I have a hook on her. She lost 30 opinion of me. That's fine. She has 171 gold, which is the more important fact. So we can demand 50 gold from her. And now it's in our pockets. And this is how we've been funding our war effort. Through other people's pockets. But now that we did that, we have another scheme opportunity. So what about Ooh? Ooh is falling apart. So can we take advantage of that for now? None of these siblings have any money? Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, that is what you're telling me. Oh, this guy in Mariul over here. He has been getting involved and I don't like it. But I think because he's so far away, it would be difficult to fabricate a hug. It would be moderate difficulty. And I would prefer it to be easy. So we won't go for him. Mahipalid. He's a Maharaja. Usually I can take more money from them, but I've already tried and failed there. What about Kamarupa? Kamarupa. He's only got 86, but should I try anyways? It is easy. It's not very easy, but it is easy. Hazel, welcome. Thanks for the follow. let's see. If I fabricate a hook on him, it'll take 4 months. I should focus on success chance. Yeah, let's not risk it. We'll focus on success chance and have 3 success chance agents and only 1 scheme phase length agent. If we had chosen balanced, it would look like this top scheme here, where you have 2 success agents and 2 phase length agents. But if you focus on success, then you get 3 success agents and 1 phase length agent. So for this guy, the infiltrator, will be my daughter Sankie. My grandson's at a 0. He can be convinced, but he's at 0. That should mean that he's willing to join. But nope. So we'll make it my daughter Sangie. She'll be the infiltrator. And now we need to get this up to 90. So the outcast, my wife, diplomat, lobsang, thief, my lover. So she'll be the thief. Let's try to avoid having my wife be the outcast. So we'll use lobsang as the diplomat. And now we only need 8%. So I've used 3 of my courtiers, even including my daughter. So for the outcast, let's see if we can find someone from his own court. Doesn't look like anyone from his court hates him. So he must be a very good ruler because he's well liked. And so we only need 8. I'm already in the teens and I cannot find anyone from his court willing to join in. Oh, my guest is willing to join in. So, I mean, he's technically in my court, but he's not from my court. Or she. Thub 10 is a woman here. I just realized. And my nephew. We only need 8. You're telling me I can't find a single person? My sister. Nope, I couldn't find a single person. So let's use my guest. And that gets me up to 90. Currently it's at... That gets me up to a cap of 95. Currently, it's at 90%. But once one more phase goes by, this should go up to 95. So now we have 2 schemes going. And I think... Why did I have all these people pinned? They're all unmarried. So that must be the reason why I have them all pinned. I must have been doing marriages at the end of last stream. He has a daughter who... My niece. Okay. So he was married to my niece. My niece died. How did my niece die? Mysterious circumstances. It was 11 years ago, but that is mysterious. Okay, so he needs to marry someone who is... Let's reset to default. He has 72 characters. Are there any who are Amazonian? No. I could marry him to a genius. Because both of those talents are maxed out. So even if I marry them to someone who has the same talent, it will not intensify any further. And so it would be best if I can marry him to someone who's maxed out. But I don't want to marry him to one of my kids. So Beautiful is maxed out. And she has 24 diplomacy and 12 learning. So you know what? Lami it is. She's 30. So she still has 15 years left available to her to have children. Let me just... It's probably going to be her, but let me scroll, see if I'm missing something. Youngten is also beautiful, but her stats aren't as good, and she's only 5 years younger, so it's not worth it. Although they do share the same religion. What about Lami? What does Lami look like? They do not share the same religion, and she is zealous. Huh. Let's sort by inheritable traits to get rid, because there's currently 72 characters viewable. Now there's only 16. So that gets rid of all of that extra junk. She's also beautiful, but she's 41. And then you have my sister-in-law here, but she's 44. Did she have children? She did. Perfect. Well, Mutik had more than just one, right? Yeah. Okay. And then Lami. Yongten and Lami. And then my niece's daughter, I believe. Yes, my niece's daughter. But she's 19 and his daughter is 11. So having her stepmother be in the teens at the same time as his daughter doesn't seem like it would be great. So let's set him up with Lami. No, not Lami. She is a camp priest. Yeah, I don't like that. So let's set her up with Yongten. Even though Yami has better stats. Lami has better stats. Let's sort by sum of all skills. Yeah, Lami has the best stats. Yongten is all the way down here, so she's not as good. She is wandering and currently in my kingdom in Garko, the county of Garko. So it should be easier to get her to come anyways. Lami is a camp priest, not of my religion. I mean, we're both Buddhist, but she's of a different sect. She's also his second in command of his camp. Okay, I mean, the only reason I'm even hesitating with Lami is because she's got better stats, but everything else, Yongten is the better option. So let's just go with Yongten. Chance of children is medium. It's only a +3 that she'll accept, so that's because he's lowborn. Is she not lowborn? She's also lowborn, and yet for some reason that is hurting her opinion of him. She's not ambitious, is she? I was about to say, she might be quite the social climber. Treacherous antagonist is her personality. What is Lami's? Righteous zealot. Yeah, if only it was of my religion, Lami would be perfect. But because it's not, let's go with Yongten. And now the children can inherit one of these two traits. Both of these are maxed out. This would be, the progression would be comely. And then second would be pretty or handsome if you're a boy. And third would be beautiful. Meanwhile, for Herculean, the first is hale and the second is robust. And then the third is Herculean or Amazonian if you're a woman. So these cannot be intensified further. And now the children will have a chance of being one or both. There's also a small chance they have neither, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Regardless, let's continue the siege here. Oh, that's the marriage going through. Oh, that's another marriage going through. Okay, let me pause. So I was right. I was dealing with marriages. This guy is Kitavarman. That's the one I just did. So I can unpin him. Meanwhile, my nephew, Muwer, here is quick. He already has 2 children. Wait, is this the incest? This is. He's my nephew. Zazu, meanwhile, is the daughter of my niece. She is a deviant. And she's a genius. So the 2 boys ended up, one a genius and one quick. Or intelligent? Intelligent. Okay, so who are they with? Are they with the father or the mother? The mother is currently in Amdo. And the father is currently in Nima. Meanwhile, the children are in Amdo. Okay, so the children are with the mother. So I don't have to worry about a new stepmother when I marry him off. However, I just realized because he is my vassal and not in my court, I cannot arrange a marriage for him with someone else who's not in my court. His partner has to be from my court. What about Gulang here? She's comely. Yeah, so let's leave Moower alone. Meanwhile, Gulang here, can we betroth her to someone who's comely? She is my courtier, and so she should be available to marry to people outside of my court. There's only 4 comely characters, and Gyalpo here is 46. By the time she turns adult at 16, he'll be 52. Content, honest. She's currently generous and hasn't developed anything else. The house has 2 living members, her and her father. What does Gyalpo look like? He's a good steward. Nah, it's not worth it. Okay, then let's focus on Mukum, who I have pinned. He's a genius. Not from my court. Okay. So then the goal is to marry him to someone of my court. Alright, there's 7 characters available. He's 31. So if I marry him to Tsogyo, daughter of my niece, she's also a genius, so it's not the best match, but it does guarantee that the children are geniuses. So every single one of her children will be geniuses. Matrilineal, and he will accept. Now the question is, are they good for each other? She's a temperate, gregarious zealot, zealous planner, and he is not temperate, gregarious, or zealous. But they don't clash in anything. He's an atheist, so at least I should be able to convert him to my faith. I would like it if I could marry him to someone who was not a genius. But genius is the only trait we have in our family at the moment. Yeah, so we'll set this one up matrilineally, of course. So the children will be of my house. Send that proposal. She loses prestige because he's lowborn, probably. Although he does have 18 learning. Yep. Okay, let's send that proposal. So we can unpin him. My nephew, I guess, is going to remain married. He has his 2 sons, even though they're not with him. They're currently at my court. Are there any children who need education before I unpause? Nope. One new message. Nothing important, I assume. Okay, let's continue on with our siege. Oh, wait, I gained a hook. That was the blackmail I did at the beginning. And then Senma here married Ayapaya. He's intelligent. And she's intelligent. They're both just, so they have that in common. Oh, she's a product of incest as well. It says she's a wild oat, but I remember. Look at her brothers. He's also technically a wild oat and doesn't have a father. But look at this brother, the youngest of the three siblings, was the only one that their father actually officially accepted. My half brother. And she just so happens to be my niece. So yeah, uncle and niece had these three children. So we need to make sure they marry someone very far away from my lineage, so that they don't get completely inbred. So Jampa, excellent for this. So Jampa needs to marry intelligent. He needs to marry someone intelligent. There's a mayor here who's 33. That's a little too old. And she's chaste. Yeah, so that's way too old. They probably will not get a chance to have children. But the other ones are 43 and 42. That's not good. Because everyone else is of my family. And I just said Jampa cannot marry into my family. His blood is already too pure. It needs to be mixed a little. Or else we'll start getting the Habsburg chin showing up. So let's marry him to the mayor then, I guess. Not matrilineally. The children will be guaranteed to be intelligent, and it might intensify into genius, so we'll send that proposal. Let me just double check just in case. Where is the city of Dingzo? It's in Yijinai. Where's Yijinai? Ooh, that is all the way up there. That's fine. Send the proposal. Wait. Yeah, send the proposal. That is up here. It's not too far. It's closer than India. And is it still in Tibet? Is that technically still Tibet? That is technically still Tibet. Okay. The long-term goal of this run is to form the Empire of Tibet. So the more nobility within Tibet that exists of my house, the better. I also get extra renown per month, depending on how many nobles I have in my family. Right now, we currently have 2 dukes, and that's giving me +1 renown per month. However, it doesn't count the nobility within your own family, within your own kingdom. That second duke, I believe, is from Sang. Her primary heir is this guy, who's of my house. One message. Oh yes, I just blackmailed her. Demand payment from her. There's 10 gold. She doesn't hate me for that, does she? Yeah, blackmailed me. -15 opinion. Wah wah. Oh well. Let's look at some other blackmail material I have. Hehehehe. I remember there's a couple more. She's a non-believer, but she has 0 gold, so it's not worth it. Although she's pretty, can I arrange a marriage for her with someone who's also pretty or handsome? Oh, extra P. Why do I show up? I'm not handsome. But nope, she has 15 characters available to her, and none of them are handsome. Oh, wait a minute. I saw someone who's oh, no, wait. Let's try this again. Let's select me, then let's select her. Oh, she's 63. Never mind. I didn't realize she was that old. And it looks like... Can I just expose this? What religion is she? She is Tengri. Let's just expose it. Does anything happen? Do I get anything? It looks like I already did something. Oh no, wait, it's this one. I clicked on the wrong thing, I think. Okay, so let's just expose it. She does not like that, does she? Nope, minus 30. She does have 21 intrigue, so that might be a problem. But she's 63, she's blind, and she's in poor health. So I don't think I have to worry about her. Meanwhile, here's all the ones, the nephew and the niece. He accepted the third child, but the first and second he has not. And so those are technically secrets I know. That both of these children are Zappas. Can I expose it? No, I can't. I would have liked the two kids to know who their father was, but I already got payments for that blackmail material, so I can't really now go turn around and expose it. Meanwhile, this kid is a non-believer. He's got 88 gold, so that's nice. He's my nephew, but should I? He is in my court. Should I? Nah, I'll keep that secret. Okay, so those are the secrets. The schemes are working. The siege is happening. And the marriages are marrying. She's a genius and he is fecund. Okay, so that's a good mix. Fecund has no lower or upper levels. It's just fecund. So he's more fertile and he's loyal. And a poet. And lustful. Okay, this is great because lustful puts him at risk of cheating on her. However, he's loyal. So he takes his relations more seriously than most. So he probably will not cheat. So his fecundness and his lustfulness increases fertility by 75%. So they're going to have a bunch of children, especially since she's only 19 and he's only 29. The only thing I have to hope for is that she doesn't die in childbirth, because that does happen, and I'm hoping it does not happen. But yeah, that is excellent. And meanwhile, another marriage goes through. This one is Yongten's to Kitty Varman. Okay, excellent for that as well. Oh, what just happened? She arrived at my court. I don't know why. Another marriage. Oh, she's marrying Jampa. I remember that. You, why are you in my court? You're my niece. Okay, so you must not have been at my court. Wait, the game was not paused, so time was moving. I have prowled through documents both ancient and of less certain provenance. I finally have enough material to make the case that you are the rightful lord of the chiefdom of Trondheim. All that is missing is one little bribe. 84 gold. See it done. Because I'm going to attack this little place next. But for now, we're attacking Kham for this little place here. And what is the siege currently at? 10 days. So that finished. My lover Yid has died. I gained 18 stress. And so an agent was removed from the scheme because she was that agent. And so let's look at our schemes. She was the thief. We need at least 24 from the thief to get to 95%, which is the cap for success chance. And it does not look like... Oh, it's Kismet that we married Yongten into our court, because now I can use her as the thief. Doesn't get me to 95, but it gets me to 94, which is close enough. Meanwhile, the siege will be over in 10 days, and there was something I was going to do, and I was telling myself not to forget to do it. And I forgot to do it. What was it? Let's see, if I go back. Her, my niece. Okay, so she's a genius. She needs a husband who is not a genius, but who has some other trait that is maxed out. She has 105 characters available to her, so that's perfect. Meanwhile, these guys, Herculean, those are all maxed out, so that would be good. He's beautiful, and he's 18, so they're close in age. But they don't have anything in common personality-wise. She is generous, so she's not gonna like greedy people. Patient doesn't like impatient people. And so how do I sort this to get the... Let's sort by sum of all skills, first of all. And then that's robust. That's Herculean. So, oh, he's 61. Never mind. Let's ignore him. Asaraja's 42. That's a little too old. And this is robust. He's a genius, but I think I already proposed marriage to him, didn't I? And to someone else, and I don't want to marry her to someone who's a genius. I want to marry her to someone who's of a different... They don't have anything in common. Of a different maxed out trait. They don't have anything in common. Because it's maxed out. So if I have two maxed out traits, it's not going to intensify into anything better. So, but if I have two different maxed out traits, the children will inherit one of the two maxed out traits, or one of the lower levels of one of the two maxed out traits, or they'll inherit nothing. But there's such a big variance in terms of what trait they will inherit. And so that is the goal. Okay. Looks like Herculean is going to be it. Of the 105 characters, I'm halfway through this list. And the beautiful people were not worth it. And there were a few a few Herculean people who were worth it. Although this 18-year-old beautiful man here he's a content coward. So she could probably wear the pants in that relationship. And he is eye candy for her. He's deceitful, so he doesn't like honest people. But she's not honest. So I think it's going to be Hazra there. But I just want to make sure that those robust people I remember aren't like great. So let's sort by prowess. This guy's Herculean, not robust. His prowess is 27. Ooh, but he's chaste. So let's ignore him. And he's already married. Never mind. This would be sending her to be a concubine. I don't want to do that. So he can be eliminated. And hold on a second. Let me take a drink of water. Okay. So what was I saying? So he's eliminated. Next on this list would be, he's 50. Would be Samantha. What's his prowess looking like? 18. Yeah, so that's not worth it. So the only one who would be worth it would be Nagarapati. No, Nagarapati is a title, I believe. His name is Pernpala. Unfortunately, he's already married. And so she would be a concubine. So then let's go to Hasra. Where are you, Hasra? Let's sort by age. I remember you're 18. Where did you go? Harsa. There you are. So it's going to be this, and it's going to be matrilineal. So now there's two maxed out traits. The children might inherit one, or they might inherit both, or they might inherit none, or they might inherit a lower level of this trait. So let's send that proposal. So that's Chomo. And then a couple of things popped up. Oh yes, the scheme agents. My lover died. Oh, I already replaced her. Okay. In the scheme, not as my lover. I only have 8 gold, so I need these schemes to be executable quickly, because I'm about to go into debt. Although I am about to finish a siege of Nagku, and they have 11 loot. So I'm going to get 11 gold as soon as this siege ends. Is there anything being sieged out in my territory? No, not there. This army's not sieging anything. Okay. So let's finish this siege. Marriage proposal. Okay. This is Harsa and Chomo. Excellent. I won another siege. I took a bunch of prisoners and I seized an artifact. I seized the pelt. I currently do not have a court, and so there's nothing I can do with that pelt. But I did gain 11 gold and a bunch of prisoners. Now the first thing to do is to check out whether these prisoners are important. I'm currently not getting any war score from those prisoners, which means they're not important. And so we will go to my prison and start doing some things. First and foremost, this little girl is 3. Okay, is that her mother? Yes, her mother's willing to pay her ransom so she can go free. Meanwhile, this little boy is 5. I have to wait because his mother is the little girl's mother as well. So she can only think about one thing at once. Meanwhile, while here, can I torture you again? Not yet. 2 more years. I have another guy here. He's been imprisoned for 6 years. He has too many family members to torture, because then they'll all hate me. Karma the Craven has no family members. And his friend is this religious guy, so I don't care if this guy hates me. His best friend. Oh, whoop-de-doo. It says he has 2 relationships, but I only see 1. But yeah, so I can torture Karma. Oh, it looks like I already did. 2 more years until I can torture him again. Okay, so where should my military go next? Oh wow, someone's taking out this army for me. Oh, that's right, because Kham is involved. Oh no, Kham is not involved in any other wars, but their allies are. Okay, so then let's see if we haven't won any single battles yet in this war. Oh, my keyboard just died. And so let's see if we can't chase down this army. How's my supplies looking? I have 91, that's fine. If it was low, I was going to go through my own kingdom. But since it's not low, I'll just take a straight shot there. For now, though, let me grab my wire. Because both my keyboard just died and my mouse is dying. It's blinking at me. So I need to plug both of them. Oh wait, did my mouse just die? No, it didn't. Okay. Yeah, they're both blinking at me, but my keyboard is not working at all. Oh. It kind of worked. But yeah, let me plug in my keyboard. They're all wireless. And so they tend to run out of battery. They are wireless, but I should really just leave them plugged in all the time. But I think I remember someone telling me, I don't know if it's true or not, but someone told me once, a long time ago, and I just have been taking it as true, that if you leave something with a battery plugged in all the time, the battery life will get worse and worse. I don't know if you guys heard the ding there of my mouse being plugged in. And so, You don't want to keep something like your cell phone always charging, or your laptop. You don't want it to be always plugged in and charging, because apparently, as I was told, doing that will kill the battery life. So that's why I don't leave my wireless mouse and my wireless keyboard plugged in all the time. If you'd like to see my wireless mouse and my wireless keyboard, by the way, nice segue, you can always go to my Instagram channel where I post pics of my PC setup. So you can check it out there. It's at A Squared Gamer. Same tag as my Twitch. And my YouTube. Same tag. All three. I upload my streams onto YouTube when I end them. If you want to check those out. But yeah. That is that. My army is chasing these guys down. Oh, my niece just had a son. She's married my nephew, my niece-in-law. So what we do, it's what we always do. We choose the cultural name and we choose the first one that repeats. And usually I miss the first one, I missed the second one, and I missed the third one. So let's hope I don't miss any names this time. I'm gonna go slower. I feel like I already missed one. Taxab, definitely repeated, right? I'm actually not sure if it repeated or not. Let's keep going. Lamo definitely repeated. Maybe more than once. So your name will be Lamo. May you grow strong and wise. Okay, so we're waiting for this ransom to be paid, and we're trying to chase down this army. But you know what would be better? How about we chase down these 21? It's an easy win, and it technically counts as a battle win. Technically. Okay, there's that ransom. And then she ransomed her daughter. Now she can ransom her son. That's another 10 gold. And I have a message. He's at 48. I think one more month and I can extort him because he's making 3 gold per month. So one more month and he should have 50. You know what? I'm not going to risk it. Because who knows what can happen from now and a month from now. Where he'll have to use gold and then I'll have to keep waiting. So let's just take the 48 now. We'll demand the payment. Thank you. And I will never have to see you again. And let's chase these guys down. And I think if I win, oh, the scheme has 5. If I win one battle, this war should be able to be left alone. And I can disband my army. Because they cost me a lot of money when they're raised. But for now, we have this scheme with 5 advantages. It's at 95%. And so we will execute. Seize the moment. Ah, she has something to hide, it would seem. Lucky for me, I don't have to be quite as creative with how I get her in my grip. All I have to do is let her know what I know. So what did you do? You're an embezzler, which is not good because you are the regent of this 16-year-old who just turned into an adult. So the last thing you want is for me to let your new king, or your newly adult king, know that while you were the regent, you were stealing money. That's probably where the 226 gold came from, now that I think about it. Good job, game. You actually made things plausible. Okay, so if I demand payment, how much gold? 50. I was hoping I could get a little more because she's a Mahila. But I think that's because she's married to a prince, not because she is married to a Maharaja, which is an Indian title for a king. Kings pay more, by the way. So let's take this 50. And I very quickly went from being close to being in debt to having 122 gold. This is one of the, if not the greatest advantage of playing an intrigue character. Once you get all the perks required, you can just blackmail people for money, and you don't even need a hook. You can just make one up. That's what this fabricate a hook scheme does. And the perks needed to make money as an intrigue character. So truth is relative is the first trait, or the first perk in the schemer branch of the intrigue lifestyle tree. And that one enables you to fabricate a hook. So right off the bat, you get fabricate a hook. After that, you need twice schemed down here lets you do one more scheme. So that's why we can do 2 instead of 1. And then what you really need is so once you have fabricate a hook scheme, the only thing you need outside of this tree is you go to the stewardship tree and you get the golden obligations perk, which allows you to demand payment for any hook you have. And of course, this one allows you to fabricate hooks, aka make hooks up. So with those two perks, you can do a lot of schemes to make a lot of money. And of course, it'll be quick if you have high intrigue. If your intrigue stat is high enough, you'll see that every 5 intrigue above 15 gives you +1 to your starting advantages on any scheme. This is why every single time I've started a scheme, I start with 4 advantages instead of 0, because my intrigue is so high. Again, every 5 above 15. So at 20, you'll start with +1. At 25, you'll start with +2. At 30 intrigue, you'll start with +3. And at 35 intrigue, my current intrigue, you'll start with 4 advantages. And I think it maxes out at 4, because my previous character had like 50 intrigue, and I would still start every scheme with 4 advantages. And our advantages are the keys here that you use to execute the scheme. Because currently, as you can see in this bar, the scheme is locked, and you need a key to get into it. So if I try executing it now, I can't, because I need 5 keys for seize the moment, aka 5 advantages. I need 10 for execute with confidence, and then the more advantages you have, these extra options give you extra bonuses to your scheme to make it slightly more successful. So there's a mini tutorial on that, and more importantly on why intrigue characters, their biggest advantage is their money-making ability. Speaking of which, we just executed 1 scheme, so now we can free up another scheme. So let's see who else we can fabricate a hook on. This high chiefess here has 66 gold, so she should have more than enough money for me to blackmail off of her, but the scheme would be very hard, predicted difficulty, so let's not go with her. We want an easy mark. He only has 3 gold. Oh wait, this is the guy I just got gold from. Can I blackmail him again? Nah, it's been too recent. Although not that recent, because I can do it again in a year. How about his wife? She has 109 gold. Oh, because she's a chiefess within the Axe chiefdom. Okay, so let's blackmail her. I mean, I fabricated a hook on your husband. Might as well do one on you as well. It's only fair. Should it be balanced? That might not get me to 95%. So let's go with focusing on scheme potential. And the infiltrator. Ooh, we have a lot of people willing to do this. Her own spy master is willing. However, usually if you use their spy master, I don't know if it's a bug or if it's because of somebody's traits, but usually spy masters make it so that they don't give you the bonus they say they do. Not always, but sometimes. For example, this scheme has 99 days per phase. You can see it right there, 99. So if I choose her, it should go down to 72 days per phase. So let's invite her to the scheme. And now it's at 73 days per phase, which is close enough. So let's remove her. So it looks like maybe she will not be one of those spy masters that screws everything up. Looks like the only other thing she'd be good at is being the outcast. And even infiltrator, she's not the best. It would be my grandson here. So let's use my grandson. Right now we're at 99 days. He has a 29 score, so that should lower it to 70 days per phase. Yep, 70 days per phase. And then if we use the spy master as my outcast, it should increase because her score is 30. It should increase the success chance to 65. And if she does have that thing I just mentioned, the phase length might go up from 70. It might change. So let's assign her as my spy master. It's at 65, so that worked. And then the phase length went up by a day. So there's something in her that increases it by a day. Other spy masters would increase it by much more. And so that's why it's not always good to have your target spy master hate them and be involved in your scheme. I mean, it's still good for them to hate them because then they won't disrupt the scheme as fervently, but using them as an agent in your scheme is not always the best thing, even if they have the best scores. For now, though, success chance is at 65, so let's see if I can't have plus 30 from the diplomat and the thief combined. So this is a neighboring ruler. He's giving me 21. Is there anyone in her court, however, who I can use? I like doing that just for roleplay purposes. Having someone in their court be involved in the scheme against them just feels right, even if it doesn't really do anything game-wise. Then again, I don't know if it actually does do anything game-wise. Paradox doesn't really give you much information on how the game calculates in the background. Okay, so I went down to 10. We're at 9 now, single digits, and I don't have anyone from her court. So let's just go up to the neighboring ruler. He gives me a 21. He can be the thief. I don't know why, as a neighboring ruler, the Gyapo of Guge here. Guge. Why? Because we have two. We have Guge and we have Guge. There's an accent on the E at the end for emphasis. But I don't know why he would want to be a thief against a chiefess here in Akse. But he is, so I'll use him. Meanwhile, the diplomat only needs a 9 to get us to the cap of 95%. And so let's see if we can't find someone else who's not of my court. Because I already used two of my... No, did I use... I used my grandson. Yeah, so let's make sure not to have anyone else connected to me, whether through my house or my court. And so the diplomat only needs 9. Don't tell me I'm not going to find a single person. This lady must be really well liked by her court. Because other than her spy master, no one else wants to get involved. Yep, I passed 9 and there was not a single person not of my court. Okay, in that case, who has the least connection to me? She's my niece. We're not going to use my family member. This guy is married to my family member, so not him. Can I demand he convert to my faith? 25%. Nope. Okay, so not him. Ooh, the mouse is a little more difficult to move now because it's connected. And it's hitting up against my water bottle. Okay, so Prabhavati I use a lot in a lot of my schemes. Probably because she's so unconnected. But then again, she is married to my steward, which is a recent development. So let's not use Prabhavati. Drakpade is married to my niece, so not him. My niece This is the daughter of my niece. This is my sister. Senda is married to my niece and is also the only member of a noble house within my court. Kurdivarman, I just married to her, but his previous spouse was my niece. And his daughter is of my house, so not him. Trailokya Chandra. Ever since I first said that name, I've been able to say it perfectly, or at least what I think is perfectly. I might be totally mispronouncing it, but I'm at least sounding it out. Trailokya Chandra. But he's married to a member of my house, so not him. Choki is my court chronicler. This is my nephew. Nachana is married to my niece. Wow. All of my courtiers have connections to me, which makes sense, right? Because that's why they're my courtiers. Dawa looks like is not. She's married to Tsenye, who's one of the only two members of his noble house. The other member being his daughter. But that is a noble house within my kingdom, one. And two, his former spouse was my daughter. So he's my former son-in-law. So not Dawa. She's married to my former son-in-law. Wozer is my niece. Sogyo is my niece. Lami is my niece. This is my personal doctor. This is my wife. My nephew. Oh, hey, look, someone from her court. How did I miss this the first time? He's one of her courtiers, so he can be the diplomat. And now I'm almost completely disconnected from this scheme. The only connection to me is my grandson here being involved. But who knows if someone else is causing the scheme and they just invited him to their scheme, just like I invited all these other people who are not of my court. So I have plausible deniability. This one, 44 days till the next phase. Hopefully the next phase will get me up to 94%. It did not reach the cap, but that's fine. For now. Or forever, because I already started the scheme. So yeah, that's that. Next is my army. That is currently in the process of trying to cut these guys off. Let's see if I can make it. This is a ransom being paid. Oh, they went into the fog of war, so now I've lost them. So you know what I'm going to do now? Because the war score, as you can see, it was at 7, now it's at 10. It's slowly going up because I control the war target, which is this county here. As you can see, it's currently sieged out by me, so I'm controlling it. And because of that, what I can do is my army just refilled its numbers because it entered my kingdom. Once it's in my kingdom, it can refill its numbers. And now that it has refilled its numbers, I can disband them. Oh wait, let's move them all up here. I cannot disband them yet because they're too close to the action. So let's move the military further away. My spy master finished her fine secret scheme. And she uncovered that Ayapaya here, of all manner of vile things, he satisfies his hunger with human flesh. Could there be anything more sickening and deranged? Did I not just marry him into my family? That's why he's in my court in the first place. He married Senma, and they're both just. So I overlooked the fact that he was sadistic. Because he was generous and they're both just. And now you tell me he's a cannibal? Oh, foul humanity, will you never cease to disgust me? I'm definitely blackmailing you for that. I'm not. You have 0 gold, but I can use that hook to demand you convert to my faith. And you will 100% accept the blackmail. Right now you're at minus 18 opinion of me. Let's see how low that goes. Meanwhile, my army is currently trying to move away from the action. He accepted my blackmail. It's a strong hook. Oh, that means even if I use it, it won't disappear. It'll just disappear for 5. It'll just be inactive for 5 years. So let's demand you convert. 0% chance you'll accept. I don't know why. You're not zealous about your religion. But if I use the hook, He will accept. Even if he continues to practice it in secret, I don't care. All I care is that this little bar here, this field, switches to Ari. That's really the only thing I care about. There. Perfect. For some reason, it makes my wife, his wife convert, but his wife was already Ari. But the game still shows it as if she was forced to convert with her husband. But her previous religion is Ari. So even if she was forced to convert to Ari and secretly practices her previous religion was still Ari. So I'm good there. Meanwhile, I use that stronghold. Hopefully he gains some money. Can I make him a vassal? I don't have any land to give. But after this war ends, I might have it. No, I won't. Because this land will go to this lady here, who's married to a member of my house. And so her heir is a member of my house. So I have no land to give. Although I think I do up here. Yes, I have a lot of land to give. As long as this guy dies. Except his primary heir. Yeah, if he dies, I lose land, right? There's no message telling me I lose land if he dies. But his primary heir is not in my court. So does that mean that he will come to my court to inherit the land? Because usually if the primary heir is not in my court, then the land will become independent once he dies. But if that happens, there will be a message telling me that I will lose land if he dies. And there's no message, so I assume that means that his primary heir will come into my court in order to inherit that land. Okay. Meanwhile, Gyapo Tristan here of Wu lost against Lhasa in a liberty war. So is Lhasa independent now? I don't see any land they lost. Yeah, Lhasa's right there. Liberty, liberty, liberty. No, it's an independence war that makes them independent. A liberty war just lowers the crown authority of the ruler. Okay, so that happened. Meanwhile, can I disband my army? Not yet. They have to get further away from the action. You can go up here. What's this? Is this a hostile? It says it's hostile. But they're not red, which means they won't attack me. Unless I attack them first. Wow, this one got up to 3 stars. Which increases the commander advantages by a lot. And he is my best commander because he has 3 different traits. So that's nice. I still need the army to get further away so I can disband them. And the reason I want to disband them is because currently they're costing me 9.8 gold. Because they are raised. Once I disband them, that gold will go down. And the reason I mentioned earlier that I want to fill up my numbers first is because if my numbers are filled up, then the monthly maintenance down here, the 9.8 for raised armies, is lower. If they're not fully fulfilled, if the numbers aren't maxed out, then it'll cost me more gold, even if the army is not raised, because they need gold to recruit new soldiers. But now that everything is maxed out, that's a little more gold I can save. Meanwhile, the schemes are ongoing. The army is moving away from the action. Oh, I can disband them. So let's disband them. It'll take 4 months for them to return home, making it take longer to raise them again. However, this war is basically won. They only have like 800 soldiers anyways. And I can always raise the local army, which raises levies, which are just peasants that were drafted and we gave them pitchforks and sent them into the front line as cannon fodder. So yeah, let's disband the army. Now we went from losing 5 gold per month to making 1.9 per month. And so now we can go to our council and our marshal, who was organizing the army, because that lowers raised army maintenance costs by a quarter. Now we can have him focus on increasing control again. We have a couple of counties that need increased control. two which are under my direct control: Niainrong, and Dangla. These two counties are directly under my control. They're the 4 domains I hold. And so I would like them to be at 100 control. It'll take him 3 years for Niainrong, and it'll take him 3 years for Dangla. But the bar is a little closer to the end than it was before. So let's have him focus on Dangla instead. I think that's because Dangla's at 66.3 control, and Niainrong must be at a lower control level. If we look at control map, yeah, Niainrong's at 64, Dangla's at 66. That's why the bar was a little closer to the end. Okay, and now this war is just happening. I still control these 2 territories that I sieged out, and this territory just happens to be the target of this whole war in the first place. And since I control it, it was at 10%. Now the ticking war score has gone up to 12%. And that's just going to keep slowly ticking away as long as I control this county. Meanwhile, I have 33% from the 2 counties I sieged. So I get 25% from sieging, from occupying the county. And then because the county is the war target, I get the ticking war score on top of that. I also sieged out Naku, but apparently it wasn't as important. Or what I should say is, there's not as much things in Naku, and that is true. This barony here is empty. This barony is empty. This barony is empty. So of the 4 baronies, only 1 has anything built on it. Meanwhile, this one has a temple here in this barony. It has, I think, a castle here and a city here. So all 3 of its baronies within this county have built stuff on them. So that's why this one is more important and why it's more impactful, because there's more stuff. Okay, so now it's just a waiting game, waiting for this 45% to go up to 100. And while we're waiting for that to happen, Donkar here, my daughter, learned Scythian from her mother. Her mother, right? Yes, her mother. Her mother speaks Scythian because she is of the Sogdian culture, which is an Iranian heritage, and Scythian is the language they speak. What's this? Bejeweled? Oh yeah, I gave her a gift. Okay. Yeah, so she learned it from her mother. That's nice. So now she speaks my Tibetan and her mother's Scythian. Do her other children have the same multilingual ability? Her first son does, and her second son does not. So he needs to learn Scythian. Meanwhile, while I was going through all of that, these 21 people aren't doing anything, are they? Well, there's no armies currently walking through my kingdom either. Okay, so while all of that was happening, I have a new perk. I have the Know Thyself perk, which gives me a warning when I'm 1 year away from death. So let's go with washing my hands. Or carefree. Less stress gain. Or reduced chance of contracting an illness. I mean, this one's much better. So let's go with wash your hands. Then we can go to Iron Constitution, which is a massive health boost. Yeah, this is just about stress, this side of the branch. So let's go with wash your hands. And at 66 in poor health, but I'm not infirmed. And I have a bunch of positive health boosts. My player heir is only 12 years old. So even if I'm a year away from death, he'll be 13 if I die. If I get the warning right now. He'll be 13 when I take over as him. He has no traits. That's unfortunate. Okay, so I gained the perk. I got a message. No, I did not. I have schemes. 5 days until I can execute this one. 7 months until I can sway my doctor. Someone's trying to murder Zazu, murder my second wife, and murder my niece-in-law. But I'm very good at disrupting. All of them are in the negatives, so they're nowhere near being successful. Meanwhile, let's look at my console again. I don't really care. Oh, it increases vassal opinion. I didn't know it did that. Oh, that's a possible side effect. It's not an actual effect. Let's have him convert faith then. There's one last county in my kingdom that is not of my faith. So he can work there 16 years. Oh no, not organized army. Yeah, it's got no control. It's in the red. That's why it'll take him so long to convert faith in that county. But I'll keep him convert or increasing control in Dangla. Okay, I have 129 gold. I'm making 2 gold per month. Everything is good. Dangla's good. Amdo, the capital, is good. Everything is good. I just have to wait for this war to end. And then I have 2 more wars to fight. Trandam, to take this little county. And then to complete the Duchy of Konyi, I need this county here. The county of Sewa, which is currently in Akse. Akse only has 1,700 soldiers, but that's because they're currently involved in 2 different wars. Wait, is one of those wars against me? Oh, okay. My noble here decided to try and subjugate Akse. He has 1,100 soldiers just by himself. And he felt it was a good idea to try and subjugate Akse. And he just so happened to have a good feeling because it looks like he's 44% of the way there. He's winning that war. Probably because Akse is involved in this other war. My count here is just trying to subjugate Akse, which would keep her in power. It would just make her his vassal. However, the reason they're not focusing on that war is because the other war is a conquest war, which means all the way over here, this little piece of land here is trying to take over land for herself, which would mean she would lose land. So that's probably why that's her primary focus, and she's definitely whooping that butt. She only has 280 soldiers left. Yeah, but as soon as that war ends, my vassal here is not going to have a good time anymore, that's for sure. What is this one? Did I get a new artifact? I did not. However, the prize bow could use repair. It only has 20 years of durability left, so let's fix that. Oh, I remember now. It was a court artifact. But I don't have a court. Yeah, court artifact. There it is. I gifted this to him, so I don't know why I have a claim on it. Oh, no, wait. No. He has a claim on it, but it currently belongs... No, it says he's the holder. Huh. Meanwhile, this is great. I don't even have regalia, so I could do with this. I can try and steal it. Except I think I already did a scheme on her. But that was a fabricate a hook scheme. Yeah. Now we can do a steal an artifact scheme. Oh, I've never done one of those before. Or I can challenge her to a duel. That would be much easier, I think, because she only has 8 prowess. And if she chooses someone else, I can choose someone else. And my best knight has 30 prowess. I doubt there's anyone on her side with that much prowess. Yeah, so let's, rather than stealing the artifact, which would be a moderate difficulty, Let's do a challenge for an artifact. I've never done this before. She has 8 prowess herself, so if we can't use someone else and it has to be us, I have 16 prowess, so it's definitely mine. If it has to be us ourselves. So let's challenge for an artifact. Oh, she will not accept, which makes sense. I could have used the hook I had on her, but it's too late. I realized it too late. And I cannot fabricate a hook on her anymore. Can I still challenge? She won't accept even if I challenge, right? Oh, if she... It cost me 600, but if she declines and doesn't accept, or she won't because it's at 0%, I gain 600 prestige because, you know, I guess because she's a coward. So it's basically free. I can just challenge for the artifact and it's not going to cost me anything. So, okay, I'll do it then. Don't tempt me with a good time. She refuses. I gained 600. Yes, yes. So I ended up at 0. But now I have 5 advantages on this scheme. It's at 94%. So now I can try and steal the artifact. I couldn't before because I already have 2 hostile schemes going. And that's my max. So this one would have eliminated another one. But now we have 5 advantages. Here we can execute the scheme. It's a 94% chance, so it's not at the max. At the cap of 95. But we'll seize the moment anyways. Foul words. I started a series of vicious rumors against them. None of them are true. And someone should definitely stand up and decry these rumors. And what better way for that someone to have him in their debt? AKA, I must stand up to this injustice. Yeah, so it will cost me 100 piety. Because I just made up a bunch of rumors and then defended him against the rumors I made up. But it still gives me a weak hook. And then I can use that weak hook to demand payment. But also, because I now have a hostile scheme slot open, I can start a steal an artifact scheme. The difficulty is moderate. Each phase will take 25 days. The minimum allowed for any scheme is 10 days. So, I don't have to be balanced because I don't need 2 different phase length agents to reduce the length of the phase. It's already 25 days, which is close to minimum. So we will go all out on success chance. Start the scheme. Let's demand payment from that guy we just blackmailed. 50 gold from him. I thought as a Maharaja I might be able to get more, but I guess not. That's fine. 50 gold is still 50 gold. Nothing to sneeze at. And now we have stealing an artifact. It's a really good artifact too. So again, the infiltrator will only need to have a 15 score because we need to get this 25 down to 10. You can see here, it says right at the bottom, minimum speed, 10 days per phase. So we don't need anyone better than 15. Let's see here. I guess we can use Yongten. She's only a 15. Let's just make sure she's not in any other category. Thug. I have a bunch of thugs. And then 2 thieves. Ooh, Yongten is actually one of the better thieves. But I don't think I'll need her for that because I have 3 success chance agents. And there's a bunch of people in the 20s. And obviously 3 times 20 is 60. And my current success starts at 35. And 60 plus 35 is 95, which is the cap. So all that math tells me that I can use her as an infiltrator. So Yongten will be the infiltrator. And then the thug, I could use my champion, or I could use one of the vassals of Calm, which I believe is the where she is the regent of. Yes, she's currently the regent of Calm. And one of the vassals of Calm doesn't seem to like that very much because he's willing to get involved as a thug in my scheme to steal an artifact from her. Another vassal is also willing to get involved. Ho ho. She did not make many friends as a regent. But let's see if I cannot use him as a better thief than a thug. So he's a 28, or she's a 28. Kelzang as a thug. As a thief, it's Mangmo, who was a 17 thug, and Kelzang's a 21. Yeah, so she's a better thug than a thief. So Kelzang, where is she? Kelzang can be my thug. That's a 28 score. We're up to 63%. And then the thief, the best thief is Prabhavati, but we're not going to use her. We're going to use Mangmo, who's also a vassal in Kam, the Gyalpo of Kam. One of the vassals that she's currently a regent over. So we can use her as the thief. That gets me to 85%. So the second thief only needs a score of 10. So let's find someone else in that court. Have I used anyone from my court? I used Yongten as the infiltrator. That was it. To get me down to 10 days. So let's see if I cannot find someone else not of my court. They only need a score of 10, like I mentioned earlier. I'm already in the low teens, and I have not found anyone. How unfortunate. I was not able to find anyone not of my court. In which case, who should I use? Senda? Did I use Senda? No, Senda's not willing to join. Drakpate? Married to my house. Sanya is my daughter, Senma's my sister, Lami is my niece, this is my wife. Trailokya Chandra is married to a member of my house. He's married to Zazu, who's also into the incest. Both of these children, right? Yeah, incest. Chomo Kerdevarman, Siama Devi, married to my doctor. Yeah, you know what? Siama Devi it is. She can be the second thief. It's overkill, but we'll take it. 10 days per phase, 95% chance, which is the cap. So we already have 4 advantages, as I mentioned earlier, because of my high intrigue stat. And so in 10 days, we should be able to steal this artifact. So that's nice. It's not like anyone can say anything about it. We're currently at war with Kam. So it's not very treacherous of me to steal something from the court of the people I'm at war with. Okay, there it is. 10 days. I have 5 advantages. Execute the scheme. Seize the moment. Success! I have become the owner of the opulent Amdo Regalia. Wait, it's called the Amdo Regalia, and I'm the high chief of the petty kingdom of Amdo. So it looks like this belonged to me in the first place. I feel a great rush of pride and can't help but grin as I'm presented with the artifact I've sought to reclaim. Yeah, I'm reclaiming it. I'm not claiming it, I'm reclaiming it. The opulent Amdo Regalia returned to its rightful owner. Though it's perhaps slightly scuffed and dirty from the travails of rescue, I still can't help but trace my fingers over the luxurious surface of this stolen item. The opulent Amdo Regalia, a fine prize. It returns to its rightful place, to the right hands. Meanwhile, this lady lost 50 opinion of me for 15 years. She was at plus 14, which is surprising because she's the regent of the kingdom of I'm at war with. And yet she liked me. Because we're both hunters and eager revelers. Huh. I'll take it anyways. She does have a rifle imprisonment hook on me, but I'm not her vassal, so she'll never be able to use that. Yeah, so I gained the artifact. So now if I go to my inventory, Regalia, which has been empty up to this point, I now have the Opulent Amdo Regalia. That's quite the durability too, 136 years, because it's Illustrious, which is, I believe, the best level. At least purple is better than green here, Masterwork Trinket. And green is definitely better than gray here, which is, or orange, which is just a trinket, but the background is gray. Trinket is written in orange coloring, but the background of the picture is gray. Meanwhile, for Masterwork Trinkets, the background is green, and Masterwork Trinket here is written in green. And for Illustrious, the word is written in purple and the background is purple. So let's equip this. Building construction cost minus 4%, and we get 0.08 more prestige per month. Currently, we're making 3.31. So if I equip it now, we're making 3.4 per month. I have one more claim on these detailed maps, but I don't really want those detailed maps. So I'm happy with what just happened. 16 days until we can execute this scheme. The war is currently at 46%. This is slowly going up. Slowly but surely, it is going up. One message. Nope, no message. And so we need a new place to fabricate a hook. This guy has 155 gold, but it looks like I've already fabricated a hook on him before. What about Boyul? 215 for the Mahila here. It'd be very easy to murder her, so it should be easy to fabricate a hook on her, but I've already done it before. What about Loyul? 128 gold. I've already fabricated a hook on them. Bumthang. It'd be hard, even though he has 223. She's 59 in poor health. So if I tried 4 months per phase, focus on, nah. Yeah, that would lower the, I wouldn't be able to reach the cap. Okay, fine. What about your husband? Nah. What about your children? No, okay. Bumthang is fine. What about Lunze? Lunze? 425 gold for the butcher here. It'd be easy to murder her, so that means it should be very easy to scheme against her, and it is. So let's focus on success chance. No, I mean, it's 4 months per phase. Should I focus on balanced instead? No, let's guarantee the money, even if it takes a little longer. Let's focus on success chance. Fabricate a hook scheme. Here in Lunze, this little county. It's a Thikana, which is what? A Thikana is a county. Yeah, so it's a little independent county. And let's go for the agents. Oh, her own spy master. 43. That's not a small number. Currently, it's 101 days per phase. Let's see. The thief, he'd be a 50. And he's not the only one. Diplomat, again, he's not the only one. Outcast, he's not the only one. Okay, so I can get to 100% without using the spy master, even though he's the best at each individual agent slot. But I'll give him the job of infiltrator, which should reduce it by 43 days. But again, because he's the spy master, what I mentioned earlier might apply, where he might actually add days instead of on top of the days he reduces. So currently we have 101 days. His score is 43. That means it should reduce it from 101 days to 6 51, 58 days. So let's see if that actually happens. Now, see, it went down to 77. So he actually only reduced 24 days. Which means if we remove him from the scheme altogether, there are plenty of people who would be better. Anyone who has a score over 24 would be better than him, even though the game says he has a 43 score. So, if I use his or her personal doctor instead as the infiltrator, would she be better at something else? She'd be the second best thief and the second best diplomat, but she would not be an outcast. Yeah, so let's just use her 39 days. So now from 101 days, that goes down to 62 days. Yep, so she is the better infiltrator. And we don't want to use the spy master in any other agent slot, because if we do, he'll still add the days to the phase length. Which is what I have learned from playing this game and playing as an as a intrigue character, that using opposing spy masters in your, or at least using the target spy master in your schemes, actually has a few negatives. So it's better just not to use them if you have better options. For example, his own or her own husband is willing to be an agent, and he's actually the second best agent. That must mean that she likes him very much. But because he's willing to be an agent, he doesn't like her very much. So as a thief, he'd be a 43. He'd be a 47 diplomat. And a 31 outcast. So he's not going to be the outcast. There are two better options for that. So he can be 43 thief or 47. He'll be the diplomat, which means the chancellor won't be the diplomat, who's a 29. So for thief, he would take the place of Prabhavati, who's a, or maybe this. Well, okay, let's use him. We don't need, I don't think we're going to end up needing all three agent slots. So if we put him as the diplomat at 47, it's already at 82%. So we only need 15 from outcast and thief. And currently we're using her husband and we're using her personal doctor against her. So if I use this courtier of hers as an outcast, we could make it so that I'm completely hands off of this. We could use her steward as the outcast, and then that courtier can be the thief. Which would still be overkill because we only need 13. And combined, they would add like another 40. So let's use her steward as the outcast. And now she's at the cap, or the scheme is at the cap of 95. And we don't even need to introduce a thief into the scheme. The less people that know about it, the better. So I'm using her own steward, her own husband, and her own personal doctor against her. So she is not very well liked in Lunze. Meanwhile, this scheme can be executed in 16 days. And what else is going on? 24 days left for that. 16 years for that. 3 years, 5 years. Okay. Are there any children who have gotten old enough to need an education? No, they're still all 1 year old. Oh no, well, this one turned 2. And a new one was born. She's a murderer? Who did she murder? Ah, she murdered my friend, who was also my doctor. I remember that. She's also reclusive. And a drunkard. So she's just hiding behind in her bedroom all day drinking. I don't really care much about her being a murderer because I myself have quite a few kills under my belt. However, nowhere near as much as who I learned it from. I learned it from my daddy, who had quite a few kills under his belt. He had way more than this, but these are the ones I know about because they were murder schemes that ended up exposing the secret. Of course, I know about all the ones I did because, I'm the one who did them. And even then, I only matched the number of kills of known kills my father committed. Yeah, he was quite the murderer. I myself am a torturer instead. So I don't kill very many people. I just imprison them and then torture them. Speaking of which, Wall, can I torture you? Not again? Still 2 more years. Okay. And the reason I torture, by the way, not because I enjoy it. It's because I have the torturer trait. Which probably means I do enjoy it. Because I chose to major in torturing. But the reason I, as the player, like to torture is because I have the Dark Insights perk, which increases my prowess by 1 or my intrigue by 1. And I can do this a max of 5 times. Currently, I've gotten 3. And you're not guaranteed to get a Dark Insight every time you torture. And so I've tortured way more than 6 times, but I've only gotten these 6. 3 prowess, 3 intrigue. So I have to keep torturing until I reach the max. As for which perk that is, it's in the torture branch of the intrigue tree, and it is Dark Insights. As the name implies, when you torture someone, 50% chance of getting either 1 intrigue or 1 prowess, max 5 of each. And now we are just waiting for this scheme to trigger. Let me unpause. 16 days should go by quick. What's this? The Gyapo of Guge lost another war? Ah, Mariu here took this little slip of land from them. The county of Saparang used to belong to Guge, and now it belongs to Mariul. So that's that. And now we can execute this scheme. We will seize the moment. And now this is another time when we just threaten her rather than actually trying to fabricate some intricate scheme to make her give me a hook. No, we just threaten her. Does increase our dread, but again, my dread is maxed at 100, so it doesn't really matter. It's not actually increasing anything. She lost 30 opinion to me, which is fine. I gained a threatened hook, which is what matters. And now I can demand 50 gold from her for that hook. And I'm up to 231 gold. Let me take another sip of water. Okay. You know what would be quite the cycle? This chanting music just started. It's the same music that was on when I started the stream. I feel like this is a sign that I should end the stream. I did mention when I started that I was going to be a short stream today, as they mostly are going to be as the summer continues and the heat doesn't find any other way to leave this room other than just hovering. I don't even know how to say it. Point is, I'm sweating, I'm hot. Streams are going to be short all summer. Hopefully when the winter starts I can go back to my longer streams. But with this chanting music, I feel like we should end stream here. And so I will do just that. Thank you everyone for watching. I am grateful. This is a hobby I picked up because I watched other people streaming Crusader Kings 3 and I thought, hey, that looks fun. So hopefully if I stream and you enjoyed watching, just like I enjoyed watching the streamers I was watching, then, you know, I've accomplished what I set out to do. Even if it's not many of you watching, as long as you're watching and enjoying, I am happy and grateful. So thank you very much. And if you would like to watch some of my previous playthroughs, I upload everything onto my YouTube channel. So every single one of my streams, except for my very first stream, they're all uploaded onto my YouTube channel. It's the same tag as my Twitch. It's at A Squared Gamer. And also, I post on the community tab whenever I go live. I post on the community tab on YouTube. And if for any reason you'd like to not check there, but you'd like to know when I'm going live, I also post on my Instagram stories. Same tag as my Twitch and my YouTube. It's all at A Squared Gamer. And I post on my Twitter, which is at A Squared GMR. So whenever I'm going live, you'll see it on any one of those. Thank you everyone for watching. I feel like that's a good spot to end it. I hope you all have a great rest of your morning, day, evening, night, whatever it is in your part of the world. I hope it's great for you. Thanks for hanging out.